gained some big popularity here in Australia, dragon boat racing. I know it's not as big as it is in Asia. I saw it in China. It is massive. Yeah. So I thought we'd just delve into that a little bit because we've got a couple of superstars here in South Australia. So Sharon Knight and Cassidy Burns join us. Thanks for your time, both of you.
You're welcome.
Maybe we'll start with you, Cassidy, because it's only a few weeks away. Representing Australia, dragon boats in Thailand, Asian Championships.
Yes.
The Asians are right into it, mate. So how's your training going?
Training is crazy at the moment. One rest day a week, but all the other times on the water or in the gym for multiple hours, I guess, yeah.
So when you talk about in the water, mainly West Lakes, is it West Lakes for you guys? And it's been pretty rough, mate. The weather hasn't been all that good, so it should be getting a bit choppy out there too.
Yeah, you get off the boat and you're soaking. Then you get in the car and you're still soaking. You get home,
You're still soaking.
Yeah.
Where do we sit in the world of dragon boat racing? You're going to Thailand, did you say we're going to?
Thailand.
Yes.
Where it's very, very popular and very big. Where does Australia sit in the rankings, if you like?
Well, it's been a couple of years since we've had a good World Championships of sort, so not too sure at the moment. So I'll be racing in the Premier crew, which is the best team in Australia, against all the other best teams from other countries in the Asian region of the world.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You know, there's a lot of strong crews there, but they have been affected quite hard by COVID, as we all know. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
So how many teams are you going to be up against in Thailand?
No clue. I'm assuming Thailand's going to be there.
Yep.
Yeah. So you don't really care about the others.
Well, it's our race, so we'll race our best race. But you know, we
do you know a lot about them? Your opposition, you don't?
No,
wow,
not really.
This is going in cold.
Well, COVID's kind of wiped it out, so they've lost the momentum through that COVID period. So, hey mate, just quickly, and then we get to Sharon. There's 20 of you in the boat, and you're the paddler. How do they determine, just so the viewers understand, where the paddler sits in the boat? How do they decide where you sit?
Where I sit? Well, I'll just sit wherever the coaches sit, and the coaches ask me to sit. So the coach decides where we sit based on our weight, based on what side we prefer, because of course we're paddling on either the left or the right, and depending on what we prefer, or if we can do both sides, that might determine where we are. Also our size, if we're a really big person, we might be sitting in the middle, and if we're a smaller person, we'll be at the front or the back. So yeah, it's based on a number of different things, and how heavy the boat is. You don't want a really front-heavy boat, or else you'll be ploughing into the water. And you don't want to be too back-heavy, or else you'll be riding over the top, and the people at the front can't reach to the water. So yeah.
The hardest part, though, when you watch it, is just trying to get the rhythm together, isn't it? That's the part that seems to be the most difficult for everyone to get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yep. But once you get that, you're flying.
Yes. So when you're in the boat and you're in a strong crew, you'll feel it. You don't have to look at anything. You could paddle with your eyes shut, and you should be able to feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Sharon. You know, we talk about all the sports, and everyone's trying to get more kids, more people involved. You've started a new program. Tell us a bit about that.
The government have started the Sport in Schools program nationwide. Nationwide initiative, and there's grants available for schools to participate. There's 40 sports contributing to the program. Dragon boating is one of them, and our initiative is called Dragacademy. So we've merged dragon boating and academy together because we're smart like that.
Yeah.
And the schools can apply. It'll cost them nothing if they get a grant. The grant's open for the first term on November the 7th and close on November the 18th. And to apply for the grants, if they just go onto the state dragon boat websites or Australia Dragon Boat Federation, they'll be able to find all the information on there.
All right, Australian Dragon Boat
Federation.
Phil mentioned earlier that it was a growing sport worldwide. It's growing. In Australia, is it? Are we pumping? Are we getting there?
Yeah, we definitely are, and especially up on the East Coast, there's a huge amount of paddlers up there because they're very heavily into their water sports. In South Australia, we have 680 paddlers, roughly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sharon, it's an unusual sport. I mean, when I say it's unusual...
It's new.
It's an unusual... It always fascinates me how people... The pathway to get into dragon boat racing. I mean, you don't walk down the street one day and think I'll have a crack at dragon boat racing. So, for you here, Cassidy, you, mate, how did you start and how did you get into this dragon boat racing?
School holiday programs. So I know the council likes to promote different sports in the school holidays, and personally my parents were saying, you know, you're not going to spend your whole holidays sitting on the computer, which I mean a lot of parents will probably agree with, so they chose a sport, it happened to be dragon boating. My coach said, "Oh, you're really good. Do you want to come along again?" I said yes, and then it kind of took off from there.
Wow.
Those damn parents. And now they're saying, can you stay home and play on the computer because we're sick of all the wet clothes coming out of the ocean? Hey, Sharon, you coached the under 50, state 50s and over. Now you're at the 60s and over now. Yeah. So you've spent some time in coaching. How have you found the improvement in the athletes in the last, say, 2 or 3 years?
It's been a bit tricky because of the COVID. Situation. So we've been off the water from a national competition for a couple of years. But certainly our campaign at the early part of this year, we did really, really well against the other states. We medalled in every category, 2 golds and a silver and a bronze. Wow. So, yeah, I was really pleased with what we achieved at our nationals this year.
So you credit that to the coaches or to the athletes?
100% the athletes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, coaches never get any credit on that. You only get it if it's bad.
That's
Sharon.
right.
Hey, you got? I think I looked on the website. It's about 23 days before Wallaroo kicks in for you guys.
Yeah.
I guess the first question is, how does it get to Wallaroo? What makes the Dragon Boat go to Wallaroo?
So there is a Dragon Boat Club up there called Copper Coast Dragons. And every year we hold an event there, so we get regional exposure, and the regionals get to race with the sporting clubs from Adelaide, because predominantly the clubs are based in Adelaide, and there's a few regionals around. So we take it up there, and we race in the marina. It's a very interesting race. It's just under 200 metres, and you head to the marina wall. Yep. So it's a very quick stop on the finishing line.
You were smiling, Cassidy. Why are you smiling? Because Sharon said it was a very interesting race up there. You cracked a smile. There's something in that race that you...
Well, I have never raced this race, but from what I've heard, you've got a distance and you've got a wall very close to the finish line. So if you don't stop, the wall will stop you.
Leaky boats coming your way,
That's why you were smiling.
What's the distance you're over, Cassie? What will it be for the Asian Championships?
Yep, so the shortest race is 200 metres.
Yep.
A lot of places in China and so will do 100 metre races, but in Australia we don't really race that. So 200 metres will be shortest, 500 and then 1 kilometre. We're not going to race 2 kilometres.
No.
I'm not too sure why. It's one of my favourite races because you get to go on a spin in a circle, and the sweep, your steerer, gets to kind of show off their skills and take you on a short way around. But we've just got 200 straight race, 500 straight race, and a kilometre straight race.
I mean, I'm interested because when you talk 200, it's no different to a 100-metre sprint. You've got to get up and get going unless you're Usain Bolt and you can run them down. So the power at the start, because there's weight to get it going, there must be the enormous energy burn right at the start, is it, to really get going? How long does it take from really get going and now we're going?
So we measure the race, well, we've got the seconds, right, but also the strokes. Yep. So each stroke of the race. And for my crew and the Australian team in the men's boat, we can get our boat moving full speed, maybe 10, 20 strokes.
Wow.
But getting it from stationary to moving at a decent speed, maybe 4 or 5, which is about where you need to be at a world class.
How hard to coach that, Sharon, the start?
How hard do we coach it?
Hard, yeah.
Yeah, very hard. Especially when we're getting near to championships. So we tend to start with endurance, work through to speed, and then the last 6 or 8 weeks we'll just be focusing on that race start and getting the boat up and popping it so it sits on top of the water.
Okay, well, it's pretty exciting. Hey, good luck, mate. 3 weeks. We'll have to get you back and find out how it went when you get back. And obviously, if you haven't got a medal, you know it won't be the coach's fault, mate. So we'll just clarify that right now. Sharon, fantastic. Good luck with the Drag Academy.
Thank you.
The website again, quickly.
Australian Dragon Boat Federation.
Australian Dragon Boat Federation. You need to get on that website and have a look. Might be able to join Cassidy one day representing Australia. Well done on that too, mate, and good luck to you. Stay with us. Still plenty to come.